All right, it looks like we're live. Hi, Medcom. How are you? My name is Otis Toussaint, and I am Medcom PAO. And what are we doing? What are we doing today? We are celebrating Nurses Week. This is not only just for the civilian side, but also military as well. And so, what I've got today, I've got two Army nurses to come and kind of discuss everything all about Army nurses. They're going to talk a little bit about career fields, things that they've experienced as nurses, opportunities if others are trying to join the Nurse Corps. And, we have a section as well, a time for when people may have questions. They could send their questions over. We'll put your questions on the stage and you get an opportunity to be part of this discussion experience. So I hope that you enjoyed today's discussion, and here we go. And Nurses Week, why is it significant? It is significant because every AOC within the Army Nurse Corps plays a role in providing the top-notch medical care for our soldiers, our civilians, and our veterans as well. And so I have the opportunity now to come and discuss, really the nitty-gritty about what the Nurse Corps is all about, the opportunities that may have for others out there who want to possibly join the Nurse Corps. And who did I bring to have this discussion with me? I brought with me Major Holly Weaver. Major Holly Weaver and I, we have a great working history previously, and we're going to continue that dynamic discussion as well. So, Major Weaver, I'd like to introduce you to our discussion. How are you?
Hey Otis, thank you so much for having me today.
Hi, how you doing?
I am amazing. First of all, I'm so glad that we could pull this off.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's just truly amazing how in the past, when we would collaborate while I worked for the Medical Recruiting Brigade, we would put out different live streams with professionals and different AMED specialties. And that actually resulted in people reaching out to me and then later applying and commissioning and now being in an officer in Army medicine. So I think that's truly amazing that now we are back. We are here to celebrate Nurses Week, which this year's theme is Nurses Make the Difference in Healthcare. So, of course, we want to talk about how Army nurses make the difference in healthcare. And I'm so excited to share the stories of many of my colleagues and just briefly talk about the history of the Nurse Corps and share a few things that I've been able to do as well, because I've had amazing opportunities myself
Mm-hmm.
that are unique. And something that I truly love about the Nurse Corps is that it is a choose your own adventure package deal.
Mm-hmm.
When you become a Nurse Corps officer, you can grow up to be anything that you want to be and attend a variety of courses and really truly live out your passion as a nurse, as an officer, and as a professional. So thank you so much for having me here today and for bringing me on for this amazing event. So the first thing that we're going to talk about today, and Otis, your camera went off. I'm not sure if you're tracking that it went off. But today we're going to just briefly talk about the history of the Nurse Corps and bringing us up to today, as well as talking about the structure of the Nurse Corps and talking about different AOCs and opportunities that are available, as well as sharing day in the life and different nursing opportunities that are available. So I will just continue to drive on. I'm not sure what happened to Otis. He dropped off. But today, as we celebrate nurses making a difference in healthcare, I'm just going to briefly talk about an overview of the Army Nurse Corps and how it started. Nurses first were in the Army Nurse Corps back in February 2nd of 1901, but that is not when they first started caring for sick and wounded soldiers. They actually started caring for sick soldiers back in 1776 and have continued to ever since. In 1917, there were only 403 nurses that were on active duty, but in 1918, they quickly rose to over 21,000 nurses during World War I. At that same time, African American nurses were first allowed to serve, but it wasn't until 1950 that they allowed men to actually join the Army Nurse Corps Reserve based off of Public Law 294. So we have come a long ways since the 1950s as far as how the Nurse Corps has evolved and changed. Also in the 1950s, I found this very interesting. We had the first course in nurse administration, which later became the captain's career course, and it focused on principles of nursing administration, current trends in nursing, principles of supervision and teaching, as well as hospital organization and functions in administration. And I very much can state, as an Army nurse, all of these principles are still very relevant today. And it has since turned into the Captain's Career Course and has become a professional military education. So even though we have evolved over time, the core principles of staying relevant and current in nursing trends is still something that myself as an Army nurse and nurses everywhere have to do to stay current and up to date and provide the best nursing practice that we can. And then throughout history, nurses have been present at every single conflict, caring for soldiers that are sick and wounded, as well as providing care throughout humanitarian crises, such as crash victims in United Airlines Flight 759, which was in Denver, providing aid in response to earthquakes and hurricanes, and most recently during the COVID-19 pandemic. As the conflict or disaster changes, Army nurses stand ready to provide the best care possible to our service members and their families. The Army Nurse Corps motto is "Care for the Warrior, Proud to Care." And that's just a brief overview of the Army Nurse Corps history, but our motto says it all, that we are here to care for the warrior and we are proud to care. So that is just a little brief overview of the Nurse Corps history, and I'll roll straight into discussing where we currently are. So I talked about the history and now where we are today. And General Burke is currently the chief of the Army Nurse Corps, and his 3 priorities are transparency, leader presence, and relevance. And those 3 priorities are currently going into his 4 lines of effort to provide us to get to the end state of supporting the Army's mission to deploy, fight, and win in joint and highly contested multi-domain environments. So the different lines of effort, they focus on helping operationalize nursing and carrying far forward in the battlefield, as well as talent management, which includes retaining our current talent and as well as providing deliberate leadership development. I know how important leader development is, and I've had the amazing opportunity to have so many different mentors and leaders who have helped get me to where I am today. Currently, I serve as the Deputy Commander for Nursing at Tuttle Army Health Clinic, which has been an amazing stretch leadership opportunity where I oversee radiology, pharmacy, nursing services, and laboratory. I'll never forget the opportunity, like when I started being over pharmacy and all the intricate things that I've learned that I never realized as a nurse I would be exposed to. So I'm very appreciative of where I've been able to get as far as my leader development goes. The other area of talent management that we're focusing on is optimizing recruiting. And I'm actually very fortunate to be a part of the working group that is focused on talent management. And I'm specifically focusing on optimizing recruiting and helping get the best talent in the Army Nurse Corps, as well as another line of effort focusing on partnerships and working together with other agencies, hospitals, and schools to be able to provide the best training and the best collaboration so that we can continue to strive to be the best in healthcare. And then the last line of effort being trained and ready, and that's maximizing those clinically clinical exposures and being prepared to lead in ambiguous environments and continue being just trained and ready for anything. So I am excited to be a part of the strategic working group for talent management because I think it's a very important thing. I think we have amazing talent in the Nurse Corps and that we should continue to develop the future, which is a great thing. So that's just a review of the strategy of the Nurse Corps and where we're going.
Do you hear me, Major Weaver?
I believe the audio is coming through as it's not the correct voice. It's
okay. No worries. Let's add Major Harris.
Hi everyone, can you hear me?
Otis, I can hear you, Major Harris. Otis, your audio is coming through as a filter, I think. So
yeah, I think we're running into a little bit of technical issues, but we'll keep it going.
Okay, so I will work as I will help Major Harris continue to talk about the AOCs since you're having audio and visual issues, and that way it's not a distraction with your sound. So moving forward, we are going to, and thank you, Shannon, so much for joining us. We're going to talk about the different AOCs that are available in the Army Nurse Corps. And so if you could just tell me a little bit about what is an AOC and what different areas do we have in the Nurse Corps that are available?
Awesome. So are you able to hear me just fine? It's not like a cartoon.
No,
awesome.
you are good. You are good to go.
So adapt and overcome, right, Holly? That's what we do. So here's the thing. AOC just means area of concentration. And in the Army Nurse Corps, just like the civilian side, we have specialties. We have peri-op nursing, we have emergency room nursing, intensive care nursing, we have midwifery. And so there are several opportunities for those that are seeking to get specialized in the civilian side to come and join our team so that we can train them. And then there's those that already they have those skills, they have those skill sets already, they're already specialized. They can do a direct commission and come join our team and practice in that skill set. So they would join the Army, commission as an officer, and then they would be practicing in that capacity, whether it's an ER nurse, an ICU nurse. So that's a great opportunity for anyone that wants a little adventure in their life. They want to travel, and of course to serve a special population such as our warfighters, beneficiaries, and our families.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. And I don't think we actually got to go into this at all, but Major Harris and I actually came into the Army Nurse Corps together almost 12 years ago. We went to Bullock together in 2012 and had the amazing opportunity to do that at Camp Bullis in Texas. And then we also did the clinical nurse transition program together at Brooke Army Medical Center in San Antonio. So that was really cool how we both became Army nurses together, but we have different backgrounds. Major Harris, you went through the Army enlisted candidate program, correct?
Yes, I commissioned. That was my commissioning source, was ACP. I was prior service about 11 years before I decided to go to nursing school and join the Army Nurse Corps.
That's awesome. And we actually, we still have a need for nurses through the Army Enlisted Candidate Program. Is that correct?
Yes, it's a big push for General Berg that it's actually a lot of those slots are going to increase. It's a very, very challenging, opportunity for those that are really that are enlisted, of course, not officers, but it's been really competitive and he's increasing those. There's been talk about increasing those slots. And so it's an opportunity for enlisted soldiers that, one, have a calling for nursing, or two, already have some of that medic background, LPN background, that really want to get educated on the Army's dime. It's a wonderful program. I always say it's one of the best programs out there. If anyone has any questions, please reach out. I commission through that way, and I'm a big mentor on the AECP website. And I would love to help anyone out that really wants to commission through that source.
And I don't have the ability to bring the ticker up on the screen, but if anyone that is watching this live stream is not already in the Army Nurse Corps, is interested in applying, please go on the Go Army Healthcare website and enter in your information to get directed to a healthcare recruiter in your area, to be able to check out the opportunities available. So Shannon, could you please tell us more about the specific AOCs that we are currently needing right now? Like, what is a nurse corps in most need of right now? Because I know we have some specific areas that are in critical need.
Yes, we have our high priority AOCs in the Army Nurse Corps that we would really love for folks to join our team. The very first one that I want to highlight is our 66 Fox. That's our CRNAs. So there's quite a few avenues to become a CRNA for the Army. One, you could direct commission if you're already board certified CRNA with experience. Another pathway is through our Health Professional Scholarship Program. I know a lot of people are really looking for opportunities to go to school, but there's a large cost that comes with that graduate program. And so with the Health Professional Scholarship Program, the military will actually pay for that tuition, give you a stipend, and then you can come and join our team to become a CRNA in that capacity. And then there's another pathway, which is a great partnership that we have with Army Baylor. And so that's another program that you can actually apply for to become a CRNA. Baylor is a great program and it's renowned all over the world. So that's a great avenue to become a CRNA in the Army. And then just coming on board as a full-blown, CRNA already. If you want a little bit more autonomy in your practice, if you want to teach or mentor, you want to be a professor of some sort, this is a great opportunity for you to be able to do that, because the Army doesn't just build healthcare professionals. They build you to become holistically a better person, a teacher, reaches your goals and aspirations in life. So it's a great place to grow.
I'm back, by the way.
Okay. I honestly, for a minute there, I thought I was getting pranked. I was like, am I on the right show?
Poker face. Poker face. We retain the poker face.
I've had much worse thrown at me. So I was like, if it's going to be me this whole time, I have my notes. I'm ready. No, it's all good. I know that we have technical difficulties that happen. But as we've discussed, and that's honestly, I think the Army has prepared me the most to think on my feet. And if things, doesn't matter how much you plan, things will never go according to the plan. So how do you branch plan and adapt and adjust so that you're still successful?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Shannon, I had a question for you based off of what you were just telling us about the CRNA programs through USAGPAN and USHUS. I think I just saw an article about the programs being ranked the top in the nation.
It is.
Did
It
I
is.
see that correct? Because that is insane. We have the top rated schools in the nation. Can you just elaborate a little bit on that?
Yes, it's absolutely true, Holly. We have top rated. We're always in the top 10 of the schools in the nation. USHUS is great, and Army Baylor is great. We don't just recruit, just any Smojo in the street, right? We want to build them, kind of mentor them, and then those instructors are put in those positions so that they can excel and create great leaders and create great healthcare professionals. And so it's kind of just this team effort that the Army has, right? Building teams, a winning team that allows us to stay on top. So we always try to get the cream of the crop, and so we try to produce the cream of the crop. So it's absolutely true. We always have the top programs.
That's truly amazing. I saw that on LinkedIn, and I mean, I'm not surprised, but like, what an amazing thing. Like, we have the best programs. You can get your school paid for, and also have an opportunity to serve while receiving the best education that's out there. So thank you so much for sharing more about our CRNA programs.
We do have some other programs too that are high priority, Holly. And Otis, if you just want to allow me to just talk a little bit more about some of those AOCs. Yeah, so we can always use more ICU nurses. We can always use more ER nurses. But another thing for our graduate program type of, DMP level of education nurses, we're looking for nurse practitioners, family nurse practitioners, and we're also looking for anyone that wants to join our team to become a midwife. So we do like to kind of grow our own. A lot of our OB professionals, our subject matter experts will, talk to some of our OB nurses and try to get them to do the midwifery program. But it is nice to take some of that skill sets that people learn on the outside and they come and join our team and they build our team and make it even better. So that's kind of one of the AOCs that is in great need, the high priority AOCs. So 66 FOP, 66 PAPAs, those are CRNAs or family nurse practitioners. And then, our 66 Romeos are psychiatric nurse practitioners. Our population is so special, and we need those mental health and behavioral health providers to help kind of help our warriors, our family members, and our beneficiaries through the counseling sessions that they have, or even just, kind of improve on mental health. So psychiatric health practitioners, we really have a great need for those in the Army. So top 3, top 4, if we could get some folks to come in as CRNAs, come in as family nurse practitioners, come in as psychiatric nurse practitioners and midwives, we'll be good to go.
Lots of great opportunities. Could you tell us a little bit more about what's actually required to be able to apply to be an Army nurse, based off of education and also physical, medical, and then citizenship requirements?
Yeah, so the minimum requirements, I could go through those quite a bit, and there's going to be some requirements that that you need for one AOC versus another, and those are more specific. But for a broad concept of requirements, you have to have gotten your BSN at a minimum from an accredited body from the United States. So it needs to be either, ACEN, CCNE accredited. So that is the main thing. So sometimes we have some of our foreign partners that come and get their BSNs from another country. It does need to be certified through a BSN program here in the United States. Another thing is you have to be a natural born U.S. citizen or naturalized. So that's one of the things that we sometimes have an obstacle with, but there are ways that people can join the military, but they just can't join in the capacity as a RN and an officer without having that naturalization or being natural born. The other thing is you have to pass a commissioning physical. So people always, say, well, what does that entail? Well, it's a gamma of things, which simply a heads to assessment. Military professional will come and check you out and talk to you a little bit about your medical history. So you have to be able to pass that because you are a soldier, you are an officer in the Army. You're not just a healthcare provider. So we want to make sure that you're physically fit and that's nothing hindering you from becoming a soldier or an officer in the Army. Another thing is board certifications, right? So if you have a graduate degree, a doctorate, a master's, and you are a nurse practitioner, a midwife, kind of at that higher capacity of practice, you need to be board certified. So we validate all those things through the application process, very detailed. The Army Nurse Corps is known for being very detail oriented when it comes to those CV checklists. And so we validate all those things to make sure that you meet the minimum requirement.
Okay. And I just want to put a quick reminder out to all the viewers out there. Hey, feel free to post your questions and comments. We will have a section at the end where we'll be able to put up our live comments and questions, to keep everything interactive, hopefully without a funny filter voice like I had earlier today. So the discussion is going really well. Let's not break anything up. Major Harris, I guess in closing and sharing all of the different requirements, whether it be your physical requirements or your citizenship requirements, do you have anything else you'd like to add in closing this part of the discussion?
Yeah, if there's anyone out there that has ever thought about serving our population or has a calling to military medicine, please come join our team. We are more than happy to, one, talk to you. There's so many, that's the thing with Army Nurse Corps professionals, is that they're a very tight-knit community. We are huge with mentorship, huge with education, and we will love to reach out and talk to anyone that wants to know a little bit about, one, military medicine, Army medicine specifically, and Army Nurse Corps. So it has been life-changing for me. It has changed my life, becoming a recipient of the AECP opportunity, and then continuing on as a peri-op nurse, now directly influencing, my children. I have a child that's going to do Army nursing as well. They just got accepted into UW. And so I'm really excited about that opportunity. So there's a lot of folks out here, not just myself and Major Weaver, that really want to, support anyone that has a calling for the Army Nurse Corps. There's lots of opportunities for humanitarian missions, different capacities of practice, traveling opportunities, on top of the fact, it should be your main reason to join is to serve our population, the few and the proud, the 1%, right? The 1% that keeps this country free, supporting our families, our war fighters, our beneficiaries. There's nothing that fills the cup and sends food to the soul than serving our population. And it has been a great adventure for me and my family. I'm sure it's been the same for Holly. And we welcome you. Please come join our team.
Yeah. Well, I would like to, I guess, during your discussion, there were people who were posting comments. We're going to leave the questions to the end, but let's kind of share some of the comments that were posted in here. And I'm going to see if any of you all recognize any of the folks there. I'm not going to post the comments about my voice because that was already a funny section, but let's post up. Stephen Campbell says AECP is awesome. What is AECP again? If y'all could refresh my memory.
It's the Army Enlisted Commissioning Program. It's one of the top programs in the Army to produce our own Army nurses. They're from our enlisted corps.
Okay.
It is an absolutely fantastic opportunity. A quick story I want to share about the AECP is when I was a company commander, I had this really high speed LPN that was just a top performer, and his name was Brendel Tabuso. And when I became a healthcare recruiter, he came to visit me and decided that he wanted to apply, and he worked tirelessly on his application to make sure he put forth his best foot. And at the very final hour, he found out that the schools that he had been accepted to did not meet the standards for NCLEX accreditation of their pass rates because the Army will only allow our soldiers to go to the very best schools. And guess what? He went out and he found a new school to apply to and got accepted and was selected to the ACP program and is now in college, attending nursing school, and will become an Army nurse. And I am so proud and so blessed to have had the opportunity to not only be his leader, but then to be his recruiter. And then he's going to be an Army nurse and will be on the Army Nurse Corps team. So, it's stories like that that keep us going and that keep us excited. Just like Major Harris shared, her child is now going to go to school to be an Army nurse. It is a legacy. And we are so thankful that we have the opportunity and ability to share these amazing programs to our soldiers. I currently have a soldier who I worked with previously when I was in command, and now we're stationed together. The Army Nurse Corps is small, Army medicine is small, the Army is small. And she is looking to apply to the Army Enlisted Candidate Program, and I will be able to support her as her leader. So
Nice.
It's a truly amazing opportunity. If you don't know about it, you should learn more about it. There was a link that was dropped for it in the comment section,
Boom.
right
Here it is.
there. Perfect. Thank you, Colonel Paul. We appreciate your support and sharing that link. And check it out. And then if you are a leader yourself, please share that opportunity with your soldiers.
Oh, absolutely. I see the Army Nurse Corps teammates are, of course, checking out our discussion. Let's share some more links that they've got. We've got Ms. Deidre Frazier saying Bullet Class 24-243 Nurse Track is watching. Okay. Shout out to the Nurse Corps team.
I want to do a shout out to that Bullet Class that's watching and say, if you would like to get linked for some mentorship at the start of your career, reach out to me on global, holly.r.weaver3.mil@health.mil, and I will, if I cannot help you provide mentorship, I will link you with the right person. But if you, as a second lieutenant, first lieutenant at Bullock, you're thinking, I would like to have a mentor, I can help you. I'm sure Major Harris is the same. If you want to reach out to her too, reach out. The time to find those mentors is when you're at Bullock, and start your career off strong. So that way we're getting you that leader development, and we will help you reach your goals. And we're so proud of you that you made the decision to be an Army nurse, and we're so excited that you're here because you are our future.
Excellent. Let's share some more comments. We've got one from, let's see, RN Antoinette Dingle. She says ACP is the way to go. ACP.
Hi, ma'am.
All right. We've got some more folks coming on here saying, Ms. Deidre Frazier again. She said, I'm a direct commission and I work directly with my AMED recruiter. I did not go to MEPS for my physical, but I was scheduled directly from a military clinic. I don't think this was the case for fellow direct commissioned comrades, but it was a good experience for me. Everyone is going to have that different way that they got in. So I'm glad that you're able to share with us, Ms. Frazier. So awesome.
Yeah, Otis, there are great opportunities out there, just like this individual that didn't have to go through and experience that MEPS physical experience. We do have military treatment facilities near some of our recruiting stations, our AMED recruiting stations, and we kind of do that red carpet treatment. Looks like that somebody did it right for him. We walk them through the process. It's usually about a couple hours. They get their hearing, their labs, their head to toe assessment, their history done, and then they're out of there. There's not kind of like that experience where you're in MEPS that people think about and envision, trying to break those thoughts that people go through, or what does the Army look like? Am I going to be, carrying a weapon? Am I going to be doing all those things? Like breaking those kind of things is a good way to talk to your recruiter and see what the actual process is like. Get the truth and get the facts, because this individual clearly got a good experience. So kudos to their recruiter.
So we've got another one saying apply to the USAG PAN through Baylor, future Army CRNA. Excellent. And of course, Mr. Campbell offers his options and opportunities for mentorship as well. So we
So
really appreciate that.
I'll put a plug in for Steven since he's saying that. Major Campbell actually hosts a Zoom mentorship call for Army nurses of all ranks, and it is a bi-monthly. It's called Cool Coffee Chats with Cool Cats, and it features two field grade officers, usually one major and one lieutenant colonel or colonel. And he has a Zoom call where you're able to come on and ask your questions and just get that casual mentorship after work in a non-threatening environment. You know, you're not in uniform. You're just listening to different cool cats experiences from their journey in the Army Nurse Corps. This is a program that he's been hosting for over 2 years, and we've had great success. And as of a couple months ago, I became a cool cat. So, you know, no big deal. But anyways, everyone is looking to become a coveted cool cat. And then just it's an amazing opportunity to connect with people across all ranks. So I'm very thankful that he has started this program and has continued it and really made it into something where our junior nurses can have these opportunities. So the bullet class 24-243, if you are not a member of the Army Nurse Corps mentorship group, make sure you join. It's an unofficial group, but it has members all across the Nurse Corps, Reserve, National Guard, retired, and it's a great space to ask questions and to connect with others across the globe.
Awesome. So I think we had a ton of information regarding mentorship, regarding AOCs. Major Harris, I want to say thank you for joining us in that part of our discussion and closing off your part as well. So we really appreciate you coming and joining us and having that discussion. I'd like to go into something else. You could hang out with us, you could view with everyone else, but we really appreciate you coming in and sharing that information.
Thank you so much, Major Harris.
Of course, it's been my pleasure. And just for the bullet class, start looking at AOC producing courses, get some mentors. The biggest thing you're ever going to do in your Army military career is to find a great mentor. And there's a lot of them out there. And then for AACP, just one more thing. You know, Major Weaver had talked a little bit about the NCLEX pass rates. Since COVID, a couple of those great schools did drop in their NCLEX pass rates a little bit, but make sure that you reach out to your recruiter because there are ways to get a waiver for some of those NCLEX rates. The details, I won't talk specifics because I don't want to, you know, talk AACP the whole time, but if there's a specific school that you really want to go to, reach out to your recruiter because there are ways, specifically if their percentage is just a tad off, reach out to your recruiter and there may be a way to be able to go to that school.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you again, ma'am. Thank you again.
Thank you. So good to see you.
You too.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, ma'am, I'd like to, Major Weaver, I'd like to possibly go into, let's go ahead and get Major Harris off the studio. All good. Major Harris, I would absolutely love to let's humanize and show kind of the everyday day in the life of the Army nurse. And what we've done to actually help push this is actually brought up some pictures with a little bit of a backstory of each picture. And I think you're going to give us the opportunity to kind of just share and tell the story behind some of these pictures. And that is something that we really would appreciate. What do you think about that, ma'am?
I think that sounds amazing. Before you bring up the first picture, I just want to say I put out the message to a few thousand of my Nurse Corps colleagues, and the response that I received in such a quick turnaround was truly amazing. Past and present Army nurses sharing experiences throughout their entire career. it just shows that Army nurses are making a difference in healthcare every day. And so thank you all to those who responded with comments and pictures. And I wasn't able to use all of them, but I just want to recognize that I appreciated everyone's in their sharing of their story. And because, you know, on Facebook and things in that nature, people don't always use their last names and stuff like that. I'm just going to reference the individual's first name. And then, of course, like throughout time, their ranks have changed. So mostly I'll just mention the pictures by their first names. But I was so excited and happy to see the Army Nurse Corps band together to share the amazing opportunities and experiences of how we are making a difference.
Awesome. Let's go into it. So we've got.
All right, so the
first
picture is from Franny, and she is sharing a picture of the future Army nurses of the 7th Brigade ROTC, and they were qualifying on the range. And she shared that Army nurses are making a difference in the U.S. Army Cadet Command by serving in key leadership roles such as brigade nurse counselors, brigade nurse surgeons, and professors of military science. These are critical influencing positions that help streamline communication, leverage teams and recruiting, and ensure positive representation for the future of the Army Nurse Corps. So I cannot thank Franny enough. She does an amazing job through the social media space, representing what we are trying to do to help bring in the best of the best to become Army Nurse Corps officers. So thank you so much, Franny, for sharing. And it looks like it was a great day on the range. This next photo is from Pam, and she said, as a CRNA, I got to do cool things while I was deployed, including anesthetizing a bomb-sniffing dog for an exam and nasal washout. Super cool that the vet allowed me to intubate this girl. And she said, don't mind my PT clothes. I was at the gym when I was called in. So thank you. Thank you, Pam, for sharing. And what a cool and unique opportunity that she was able to experience when she was deployed. And this picture is from Franny again, and she talks about her favorite part as being an Army nurse is turning her passion into purpose, helping countless beneficiaries and families welcome babies into the world, from managing obstetric emergencies, hemorrhages, triaging, and patient education. And this picture is with her while she was attending the 66 Golf, so that's a labor and delivery course with her preceptor, who later became a certified nurse midwife in the Army, and them with a new baby girl who they helped coach into the world. So truly an amazing thing. I also had the opportunity to work in labor and delivery in the Army, and it's a gift to be able to be there as our service members welcome their babies into the world. This next picture was submitted by Rebecca, and she's sharing with us that she was able to help Shauna develop her hard work into a poster and present it at a national conference. So this just showing that Army nurses are representing very well in our national conferences with their evidence-based practices. This next picture was submitted by Abby, and she's sharing that she had the opportunity to serve as an emergency critical care nurse and on a flight in 2017. This picture is of Kayla, and she's providing leaders time training on H's and T's to the 101st Airborne Division during a training exercise. And the person who submitted this said that it's important to share our knowledge as we shift the fight, and making sure that we train our medics up to be able to perform to their scope. The next picture is of Elizabeth. I have so many great memories as an Army nurse. One of my favorites was working with Army Nurse Corps officers in the making, the Filipino Army, and the Guam National Guard. Many of these cadets are now looking at pinning major. I couldn't be more proud. From Laura, so many amazing experiences in the Army Nurse Corps, currently having a fabulous time in long-term healthcare and education and training receiving the education of a lifetime at Yale. I presented my research focus on challenges and opportunities among interprofessional teams in the ICU last week during the Yale Health System Research Day with an amazing fellow PhD student. So before we go to the next picture, I just want to take a moment to say that we have amazing opportunities in continuing your education, whether it be with your master's degree or your doctorate, in the programs that we've mentioned, for CRNA and nurse practitioner, as well as nursing informatics, and the Baylor program for your MBA and MHA, as well as other opportunities like attending Yale. The next picture was submitted by Hannah. It's from Operation Allies Refuge in 2021 at Landstuhl in Germany. She was able to take care of those evacuating Afghanistan and was able to meet General Mark Milley, who's in the picture. And she said this was the most challenging and rewarding experience of her career so far. The next picture is from Jody. So many incredible memories and such a feeling of purpose as an Army nurse. One of her most favorite was when she was a brigade combat nurse for 1 IBCT, 1st Division, and Ramadi in 2003. So, like, what a powerful picture. And you can just see the passion and the purpose, where she is humanizing what she's doing and sharing her stethoscope with a child. Our next photo is from Melissa. She attended the military mountain medicine course in 2016. She's made it her mission to connect the dots regarding operational medicine and wilderness medicine. Through training, research, evidence-based practice, and networking, I've tried to better military medicine protocols, policy, personnel, and patient outcomes. On the other side of the coin, I've worked with Wilderness Medicine Society to build the operational community and help the military take advantage of what the Wilderness Medicine Society organizations have to offer. It's not been an easy road, but the wins far outweigh the challenges. In this photo, Samantha is taking a stab at the Eldon car during the 2024 diploma in mountain medicine course in Anchorage, Alaska. So truly, like, the opportunities as an Army nurse are endless, and mountain medicine is just one of them. The next photo is of our previous guest, Shannon. She serves as the officer in charge of the Seattle Medical Recruiting Station. And in this photo, she's actually teaching a pre-medicine student how to do a suture. So she talks about her passion for teaching pre-med and pre-dental students intubation, suturing, IV insertion, and stop the bleed classes, which not only helps provide them skills, but gives an opportunity to showcase the amazing opportunities that lie within Army medicine. And the next picture was submitted by Deanna, and here they established the first detainee hospital in, I'm going to probably say it wrong, Abu Ghraib in 2004. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that.
You're fine.
Julie shared with us that in her 15 years in uniform, she's had a lot of great experiences, but some have also been the hardest. Here I am as a nurse serving as a HHC commander. I am leading my troops to our field hospital in Korea for what turned out to be a challenging yet excellent day of training. And from my experience as well, some of the hardest things that we experience with our fellow soldiers and nurses and officers, they become our most core memories, and the things that impact us the most in our lives. So at the time, you know, it may have seemed very hard and challenging, but now it's an excellent memory that she can reflect back on.
Mm-hmm.
The next photo is of Doug, and he's training medics on trauma surveys during a training exercise. Important that we actually take the time to go through our training and not just hand wave, because our medics are going to be the ones that are on the battlefield and helping our service members in the next conflict.
Mm-hmm.
And this is Jamila, and she walked into a recruiting station to see herself. And she is just thrilled and blessed to provide exceptional nursing and anesthesia care to the most dedicated and deserving populations. She gave us a hua.
Cool.
The next photo is of Amaza, and she attended the U.S. Army Flight Surgeon School in Fort Novosel, Alabama. She is now an aeromedical nurse practitioner. She said it was an absolutely amazing course. So another amazing opportunity. Mountain medicine, flight nursing, flight surgeon school. The opportunities are endless. This was then Captain Walker,
I know her.
who happens to now be Colonel Walker at the Medical Recruiting Brigade. She was at the Ibn Sinai Hospital in Baghdad with the 86 Cash. She was loading one of 1,000 medevacs during her first deployment, arguably one of the best because of the leadership and the friends that she made. And it was also the worst because of the traumas that they had to take care of. This is from Kesia, and I'm sorry if I said your name wrong. She is a psychiatric nurse practitioner, and she's on the left. She flew into a remote location in the Middle East to conduct mental health assessments for our service members to make sure that they are doing well and are having the mental health support that they need while deployed. And our last photo is of Lisa, and she's conducting great medical training for our clinical nurse transition program students, which are new nurses that have just assessed into the Army Nurse Corps.
Okay. Well, Holly, I think, well, first of all, thank you for sharing the background stories on each one of those photos there. I think it's, it really humanizes and kind of tells the story of just how many opportunities there are to serve as an Army nurse. Not only, typically, stereotypically out there in the civilian side, you may hear, oh, you're a nurse, oh, you just give medication and, you tend to the soldiers at their bedside. Not only that, but they actually serve in a multitude of leadership roles. They serve in combat. They are right on the left and the right-hand side of the infantrymen as they're out there. And these are the opportunities that's out there for everyone if they, of course, meet the requirements to possibly be an Army nurse as well. So I want to say thank you and just giving us a glimpse on the everyday life of the Army nurse.
And I just want to say thank you to everyone out there who submitted their photos, their stories for sharing them, because what you do does make a difference. Yeah. And it is truly amazing to see all the different opportunities and pathways that each and every Army nurse has taken.
Yeah, I'd like to add on back Major Harris, and we're going to put on some of the questions that the people have. Major Harris, are you here with us?
I sure am.
Thank you for rejoining us again. We've got a few questions and then we'll close shop for the day. So the first question that I'd like to share on the screen comes from Miss Franny Young. She says, are the direct commissioning medical physical requirements as restrictive as the accessions commissioning ROTC requirements, or are they the same? Lastly, is the waiver process the same, or is it more streamlined since the direct commissioning route? Is someone able to help manage that directly for the prospective candidate?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for that wonderful question. And the answer to that is we fall under the same DOTI and guidelines as Cadet Command. So there are waiver processes just like there is through Cadet Command. If someone runs into a roadblock with something that they experienced as a young child, or maybe some medications that they were currently taking, we do have a surgeon cell that we submit as recruiters, OICs and station commanders will submit that for our applicants, and then they decide whether the Army wants to take that prudent risk on that individual. So Yeah, there are processes, ma'am, and they're pretty much the same as they are in ROTC. We all fall under the same DOTI and same guidelines.
Thank you for sharing that answer. I've got a question. It looks like this gentleman, he says, if you have had your registered nursing degree certificate from a different country, I mean out of the USA, will it be accepted, or do you need to do a course in addition before it is being accepted? I think we kind of went over that previously, but can you add more clarification on that? Either one.
Yes, so you would have to show proof of passing your NCLEX, and then you will have to take your transcripts and provide them to whatever institution you want to have them review, but it has to come from an actual USA BSN accredited program. So that is a roadblock that people take, but there are schools that will actually review your transcript and maybe make you take 1 class, 2 class, whatever it may be. But then they will give you in return that they took all those credits and you can get a BSN from that organization, that institution. But unfortunately, yes, it has to be from an accredited body, a BSN program here currently in the United States.
Awesome. Thank you for that information. And I think those were the last of the questions. So let's share some of the comments that people have, of course. Let's see. This person says, Mr. Jacob Rourke said 66 hotels lead the way. What is a 66 hotel again? Can you clarify that for us?
66 Hotel is a medical surgical nurse. And what that means, Otis, is that we are the masters at nothing. And we are the jack of all trades. And I believe, obviously I'm biased, but I believe that it has allowed and afforded me a lot of diverse experiences from being able to work on med surg, labor and delivery. I was a CNOIC of primary care, did company command, healthcare recruiting. I was one of 3 Army nurses that attended the year-long Command and General Staff College in the 2022-2023 school year at Fort Leavenworth. And now I'm the Deputy Commander for Nursing at Tuttle. So that's why he says 66 hotels lead the way, because we rule. No, I'm just kidding. Every AOC is great, but thank you, Jacob, for the shout out.
Excellent, excellent. Here's
66 hotels are awesome, but so are Echoes. Just had to do it.
All right,
you are great too.
So we've got another comment coming in from Mr. Diaz. He says, you don't know what you don't know. Mentorship is key, not only in the nurse corps, but in every part of life. And I think the nurse corps is just a microcosm reflective of bigger Army, of course. So excellent comment. Appreciate that. We've got another comment saying former civilian, PICU RN, and direct commission USAG PAN student of D. Fraser. Certainly a way to join as an Army nurse. Okay.
That's great.
Excellent, excellent. That's just the same comment again. All right, Ms. Young says again, okay, thanks for the answer, Major Harris. So it is an assumption for folks who may not know, who may not be qualified in ROTC medical approval process to think they could try again after graduation and pursue the direct commissioning route. But perhaps policy will change and be further scrutinized with additional time. Thanks so much, everyone. Nice call and participation all. Happy Nurses Week. Shout out to you, Miss Young.
Happy Nurses Week, ma'am.
Nurses Week. And we've got a good link here with some good information. We'll kind of leave up so people could take a screenshot, or you could go back on our recording and get this information as well.
And
I guess, go ahead.
I was just going to say the Army Nurse Corps Mill Suite is an amazing resource for those who are in the Army Nurse Corps. The bullet class may not be aware of it yet, but there's a lot of resources that are posted when there's the State of the Corps briefing. They do an Army Nurse Corps all calls. They have mentorship opportunities and calls, and those types of things are posted in the Army Nurse Corps Mill Suite. So thank you, Colonel Paul, for posting that link. And then I also just want to do another plug. We don't have it on the ticker, but if you are not currently an Army nurse, but you would like to become one, we want you on our team. And if you would go to Go Army Healthcare, the website,
Mhm.
and put in your information. You will be linked to a healthcare recruiter near you.
Mhm.
You want to close it out, Major Weaver, with that wonderful picture of Bullock of me and you?
Oh, hold on. We gotta secure that photo. Hold on. Let's
For
go
those
ahead.
Bullock students, you need to cherish those friendships, and start looking for mentors. And there's so many partnership opportunities in the military. So make sure that you cherish those friendships. I sure did. You guys are about to see some cute lieutenants on the screen in a minute.
Give me one moment. Keep going, ladies. Keep going.
But I just want to say that this has been a great opportunity to talk a little bit about the Army Nurse Corps history, where we started, and kind of where we are today, as well as an amazing opportunity for almost 12 years later, after we attended Bullock, to be able to serve with you in a different capacity as we share how Army nurses make the difference in healthcare and celebrate Army Nurses Week. And this is a photo of us at Bullock in September, October of 2012. So
Mhm.
time flies. Cherish the relationships, whether you're at a 1 week course or you are assigned with, and you make a friend. Keep in contact with those nurses. You will cross paths again, even if it is just at a TDY. You never know. But I am thankful that we had this opportunity. We were
Mhm.
able to share about the Army Nurse Corps, how we're making a difference. Thank you, Major Harris, for telling us about all of the opportunities within recruiting.
Mhm.
And I love the Army Nurse Corps. So this has been a great day to celebrate Nurses Week and share more information about what the Army Nurse Corps is about.
Absolutely. And I want to say thank you to you both participating in our discussion today. I'll go ahead and close it off for the day. Thank you, y'all. All right. So thank you, everyone, for coming and checking out our discussion today. I think this is going to be the beginning of a lot of other great opportunities for medical specialists to come and just tell their story. Let's go ahead and share the great opportunities that there are as far as a career within MedCom. In closing, I would like to say to you all, take care of yourself, take care of everyone. Combat Ready Care, this we'll defend. Bye, everyone.